Anyway, after that, I then went on to try Yuri and Constance's Paralogue, since at this very late point in the run, I decided to switch over my dancer choice to Yuri because I was scared that Felix didn't have enough charm to beat the White Huron Cup. Sadly, this Paralogue is also impossible because it's a protect ally type of map like Ash's. Not only that, whenever enemy units get adjacent to the guy we have to babysit, they transform into monsters. And the fun of monsters never ends because with only Sylvain to do the heavy lifting, we can't kill those units fast enough before they reach the green unit. It was really unfortunate because I really wanted Yuri's relic since it would give him increased movement range and Canto for repositioning after dancing, but oh well. Sylvain gets his B support with Mercedes, then he shows up at the Goddess Tower despite me forgetting to talk to the Gatekeeper to guarantee him as the encounter for that scene. I mean, it's his solo, so naturally we should get a romantic, encounter with him at the Goddess Tower. Thankfully, Sylvain was automatically set as the encounter since it seems we had the most support points with him. Understandably. After all those shenanigans, we finally get to this month's main mission, beating up a bunch of monsters and saving as many students as we can while babysitting Gerald. This is where our dancer Yuri makes his debut, and only appearance in the entire run, and where that rule about allowing a unit other than Sylvain to heal green ally units comes from. One of the defeat conditions is Gerald getting oofed, so we have to babysit him with Yuri healing him basically every single turn, or we just lose the map because that old man is so eager to get killed. I tried to prioritize the students in the beginning, but that left Gerald alone in the center of the map with two monsters targeting him. In Maddening mode, Gerald doesn't last very long, so I had to revise the game plan and have Sylvain be Gerald's bodyguard while we just let the two students at the top of the map die. Sorry kids. After we just give up on saving the students, the map becomes pretty simple. It was just stressful because Gerald got so low so many times, and Yuri's heal isn't the best since his magic is pretty low. The map took a while because I used Divine Pulses to go back super far to redo all the oopsies with Gerald, but at least there was no need for a hard reset. But yay, good job Sylvain and Yuri! Too bad the game just wanted us to keep Gerald alive so he could get oofed in the cutscene after the battle by Mach and Kronya. All that hard work for nothing. As we continue into Chapter 10, now fatherless, with a depressed Byleth and equally depressing monastery music, I'll take the time to mention that I decided to recruit two students from other houses in this chapter, since at this point they come pre-leveled at 19, so we don't have to waste too much time leveling them up so they can become part of our flying club. The two students I recruited here were Lorenz for his Paralogue rewards and Caspar, since we need him to unlock Mercedes' Paralogue after the time skip. Now we can go straight into our ex-Golden Deer student's Paralogue. Lorenz's Paralogue is really simple since we can just go straight for the boss to end the map. Thanks Sothis because we all know what would have happened if the only victory condition was that second part. This battle barely lasted 4 minutes of real time, there's really nothing much to say here. I just got Sylvain to fly up to Acheron and then beat him up in a single turn. It's nice to have a simple mission for once though. The real highlight here is that we get Lorenz's relic, which adds +2 to magic attack range, which will be really nice once we can get Sylvain to a mounted magic class. Cries in no flying magic class for males. After we beat up that poor little man in less than 5 minutes, we relax by fishing a weird glowy creature that we can make into a nice temporary stat booster dish. Then we proceed to this month's mission. This map is a defeat the commander type of map, which usually makes for a simple map in a solo run. We just go straight for Kronya from the get-go and manage to kill her with quite a bit of luck because I forgot to put Swordbreaker and Lance Prowess on Sylvain for this map. What makes this map scary is that there's a phase 2. After killing Kronya, we unlock the true boss Solon that shows up at the defensive tile further north on the map. That's all fine and all, but the problem is that after the mid-battle cutscene, which I skipped for your convenience because it's very long, Byleth gets repositioned to the middle of the map for plot reasons, which is a huge issue when we can't clean up the other enemies left on the map with just Sylvain. I was worried I wouldn't be able to keep Byleth out of harm's way when we triggered the second phase of the map, but I'm just able to get Byleth out of enemy range. After we ensure Byleth's safety, I just fly Sylvain over to Solon as fast as possible with some lucky dodges against the monsters during enemy phase, and just one-turn him. He was way easier to deal with than Kronya, so it was a very anticlimactic end to the map. After Sylvain carries out our revenge for us, we get some real lap pillow before moving on to the next chapter, the second last one for this part of the run. From this point on, all we have left are the month's missions, so we can just get straight to it, stopping the Flame Emperor's forces from plundering the Holy Tomb. This one is also a defeat the commander type of map like the last mission, but thankfully there are no mid-battle repositioning shenanigans. I make sure to place Sylvain as far forward as I can in the pre-battle preparation since we need to get him to the Flame Emperor as fast as we can. It's a race against time because the armored knights near the top are going straight for Byleth. Thankfully, we were able to get to the Flame Emperor really quick, and I tried a few different ways of approaching combat against them. Ultimately, I end up having to get Sylvain to poke the Flame Emperor with a ranged gambit so I could reposition Sylvain out of the range for the enemy phase. After that, the Flame Emperor's HP drops down low enough that Sylvain can kill them in the next player phase and the map is done. Then we get the big reveal. We just beat up Edelgard! And Dimitri goes a little bit cuckoo. But we cleared the map and that's what matters. Then we finally get to the last chapter of the first part of the game. While there's not terribly much to do before the mission, we actually managed to get Sylvain to level 30 by grinding some battles. Let me pull up the comparison to an average run Sylvain. Unsurprisingly, our Sylvain is still doing much better in all accounts thanks to all the stat boosters we've been investing in him from all the drops we get from enemies and chests and gardening. I've been particularly investing in his strength and speed, and while it may look like I've been investing in his resistance, that's just from all the white Veronas that so many enemies drop for some reason. His charm is of course super high thanks to all the tea parties we've been having throughout the entire run. I wish his defense matched his resistance, but it is what it is when I mostly relied on Sylvain's base 40% defense growth rate. All in all though, his stats are pretty nice going into the final chapter of the Academy phase. We just do some final class certifications before the mission by getting Sylvain to Wyvern Lord and Byleth to Dark Flyer for that extra flying movement range, then we go to the final battle of this part of the run. Just like the last few maps, we just have to kill the boss to beat this battle. The strat, as usual, is to start the battle with Sylvain positioned on the farthest up front tile so he can go beat up Edelgard as fast as possible. As the map goes on, flying enemies close in on the top of the map, so we really feel the pressure to end this as fast as possible. While this is also a map where the Death Knight shows up, we have to ignore him since we don't have the time to rumble with him. Thankfully, we can just take Sylvain basically down on a straight line to Edelgard and go in from the left side where there are no enemies to be her meat shield. In the end, killing her is pretty simple because I realized she has 0 hit rate when we get Sylvain to attack her with a sword, and we even managed to get a lucky crit on her to just one-turn her. This entire battle took less than 10 minutes of real time, and it was pretty anticlimactic for the last battle of the run. But we did it!
Some of the side goals I set for myself ended up unfulfilled, like completing all the Blue Lions paralogs because some of them were actually impossible to solo, and defeating the Death Knight in every chapter, though we did kill him in all of them except for the final one. Despite all of that though, we did complete the main point of this run. We managed to beat the Academy phase in Fire Emblem 3 Houses on Maddening with only Sylvain. Thank you for watching! This part of the run will be ending here, but there's so much to come from Sylvain. If you'd like to stay updated when we continue this solo run in Azure Moon, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Bye for now!